The Making of Harvester. Harvester is a graphically violent experience in terror, combining role-playing action and combat with an intense cinematic storyline. It is a strange and twisted world where things aren't what they seem. Secrets are kept behind closed doors, and if you're smart, you'll leave them there.
Welcome back to part 2, mate. We're finally inside the lodge. If you haven't seen part 1, then I highly recommend you watch that first. This game is strange and you'll want to know how we got here. Anyway, let's do it. Finally, let's do it. We're greeted by this guy who mistakes us for an exterminator. Apparently the lodge has become infested by pests that need to be killed.
In that case, I'm afraid you'll have a hard time of it, sir. Recently, the lodge has become infested by pests. They need exterminating, or, to be blunt, sir, they need killing.
We ask him how we get to the second floor and he tells us that it's hidden, and basically we need to work it out ourselves. Nothing's ever easy. We fall into a trap door in the room and go sliding down into a disgusting flesh-covered hole, landing in a gooey tunnel. Oddly enough, this is now the second game I've talked about where you walk around inside of a dodgy-looking tunnel. Oh, there's the sphincter. We kill the weird bug creatures and escape for a burst eyeball. Our clothes are now covered in burning slime and we need to get it off quickly. Inside of a bar we drink a beer and for some reason it summons our evil doppelganger. I guess it's supposed to be commentary on the evils of alcohol, but I don't know. We kill him and he drops the key to the cash register. We find the meat worker inside the lodge cooking up dismembered bodies. Lovely. We grab a leg and the torso. We find the cloakroom and we pay the attendant to wash our clothes, getting the slime off. This was so annoying to do back in the day. You have no idea what order you have to do things in and you used to die so quickly. I had to keep replaying this over and over and over and over again. You gotta love those old point and click adventure games. Anyway, we killed the attendant for no real reason and none of the rooms have any real logical connection to them. So we find ourselves at a bridge in a sewer and there's a monster bubbling under the water that'll try to eat us if we pass. So we throw the body parts in as a distraction and run over to the door. Inside there's some weed killer to pick up but not much else, so we walk all the way back down and end up in a room with a killer plant and a fountain. Use the weed killer to kill the plant and look inside the fountain. Now god, this fucking part. Look at this and tell me if you see anything. I'll give you a clue. There's something here we need to pick up. Have a close look. I'll give you 10 seconds to find it. No luck? Here's another hint, it's a key. Try looking again. It's impossible, isn't it? There's nothing there. I was stuck here for ages the first time I played this game, and now that I'm back I still can't find it. It's here! Who the fuck would ever notice that? I spammed the mouse around the screen trying to see some text pop up and I still couldn't get it. I was literally here for about half an hour. Oh my god. So after that ordeal we grab the key and go into the next room. We kill another random monster and climb the rope to the second level, and as we do we hear Stephanie screaming. We end up in a museum and the curator gives us a philosophical lesson on the value of different kinds of art.
That's always the dilemma, sir. What are the boundaries of art? Only you can answer that, and only for yourself. Lovely works, pastoral scenes, noble sculptures. These are easy on the eye and mind. But when confronted with a work of hideous form, you're forced to deal with it, even if only to dismiss it as trash. Sadly, the most extreme works are the hardest to dismiss.
We start looking for an exit, killing random statues as we explore. Eventually we find the key and get out. The lodge membership director, who's also the old postman Boyle, greets us. We ask where we can find Stephanie and he tells us we first need to find a Cupid doll by slaying a Cupid somewhere on this level.
The lodge is a traditional place, young man, and by tradition, when a young man is courting a young woman, he wins for her a Cupid doll at the fair. There is no fair within the lodge. However, I have seen a thing which resembles a Cupid somewhere on this floor. Seek it out, slay it, and return here with a prize if you would seek your lady.
We leave and explore for a bit. We find a room with a chess master who has a noticeable scar on his forehead. He tells us we need to either beat him in chess or fight him to the death to pass through. I don't know how to play chess, so I choose the latter.
Chess is a civilized game. How sad that we must now resort to a less civilized form of conflict.
Oh my god, what the hell. Oh god, killing the chess piece also kills him. The key is inside his gore-filled head. We walk around looking for the QP and find an angry janitor, and in my opinion he's the funniest character in the entire game.
Excuse me, you can't come in right now. I just mopped the floor. You think just because I'm a janitor I got no pride? That's all I got to do all day is clean up after you rich bastards? Take a hike before you get hurt. All right, buddy. You asked for it.
We walk into the next room and... Oh Jesus Christ, that actually startled me. What is this room? What's the relation? What does it mean? I don't get it. Well, we get the QP doll and key. We unlock a room with the key and collect 2 American flags on the stage. We go into the back and pick up some floorboards. In another room there's a zombie to kill and a lighter to pick up. On the wall back outside there's a happy mask and a sad mask. Spinning them in the correct way opens a way to the boiler room. Inside the boiler room there's a puzzle to figure out. It's going to explode if you don't fix the pipes. Luckily we manage it and move on to the next room. No idea why the floor is made of lava, and somehow using the wooden floorboards we picked up lets you pass over it. Another trap. The ceiling is fallen, so we have to put both of the flags on the pedestals. Is this supposed to be symbolism or not? Who knows. Anyway, last room. We kill a security guard and climb the rope to level 3. We hear Stephanie scream again. Now we're on the top floor. This is where we spend the entire game trying to get to, and I call it the floor of heavy-handed symbolism. But really, this floor has a temple dedicated to about every random thing in the world.
This is the temple of the mystery of abstinence. Do not eat of the food or you will be punished. All within are hereby bound to a vow of abstinence.
The first room is the temple of abstinence, and there's a fat guy eating burgers. Once we let him finish, he tries to kill us.
You obey well, initiate. Better than your brethren. They have eaten and grown stronger for it. As promised, I will not punish you for your obedience, but they will.
And in the next room, oh god, this is the scene that went too far.
You're so good. You're so good.
Shocked? This is the mystery of motherly love. Everyone says motherhood is fulfilling, when in reality, it's draining.
This part, the Temple of Motherly Love, got the game banned in Germany and censored in parts of Europe.
From the start, children are parasites. That's what you've got to understand. Sucking the life out of you. Your very life's blood pumping from your belly through obscene pink tubes into their thieving hearts. And even after birth, they keep leeching the life from you.
And to top off the absolute madness, we chop each individual kid in half with a scythe. Carrying on, next room is the Temple of Religion. You basically just have to answer a series of asinine and ridiculous questions.
Those who preach love and mercy in God's name are often those who call for the death of heathens. Do you believe in God, my son? You are wise. His mercy anoints us all. And where doth he dwell, the Lord? Indeed, any other response would be blasphemous. Does the Lord bounce on a spring or frolic with the wombats? Doth God Almighty herd them with his staff or with special imported wombat herding equipment? Is God a jar of strawberry preserves, a size 12 sneaker, a foot-long stogie, an all-expense-paid trip to Brazil, or a new car?
After that we go into the Vietnam room. What? There's just no connection. It's like the game wants to have social commentary on every single topic in the world.
My country paid me to kill. And then when I came home, I was out of a job. They expected me to stop? Cold turkey? Is that what they wanted? A paycheck today, jail cell tomorrow? Am I a criminal or an entrepreneur? Hey, let's find out.
And here's a blast from the past. The next room has Mr. Potsdam in it.
Welcome to the Temple of the Mystery of Flesh, Steve. Have a bite?
Mr. Potsdam?
The mystery is this. Sometimes you have to lose some meat to get some meat. They wouldn't let me in until I demonstrated my worthiness. My invitation came after I buried Karen alive. That showed initiative.
And her spinal cord was your ticket in, right?
Yes, but to be initiated into the mysteries of the harvest, I had to do one last thing. I let them into the house and into Stephanie's bedroom.
Well, we kill him for letting the lodge capture Stephanie, the bastard. On to the next room. It's the Temple of Lust.
Scorn mixed with desire, that's our lot. Such is the mystery of lust. So often the instruments of lust, as all instruments of higher pleasure, are condemned as frequently as they are sought after. I'd go on about the hypocrisy of a hedophobic society, but I think I'd rather just kill me a man.
In the next room there's a generally quite attractive woman. She's quite vain though.
Welcome to the Temple of Beauty. And am I not beautiful, oh man? Look at my hair, black as a moonless night. Look into my eyes, deep pools of desire. And what else? And what else?
You insult my beauty?
There's so much combat in the later half of this game, and the combat sucks. There's no rhyme or reason to anything, no timing. You just spam the attack button and sometimes you die, sometimes you don't. You have a tiny little health bar and oh my god. Anyway, next room. It's the Temple of Pain. Very sexual.
Welcome, initiate, to the Temple of the Mystery of Pain. The mystery is thus. The simple manipulation of nerves may break one man, and yet leave another unmoved.
He wants us to whip the guy, so we do.
I invite you now to torture this man on the table, to explore this blessed mystery yourself. Otherwise, I'll have to teach you the lesson myself.
The next room has the deputy. It's the Temple of Charity.
Welcome to the Temple of the Mystery of Charity.
What mystery is there in charity, for God's sake?
The mystery is thus. Any act of charity is an act of selfishness, for in any charitable exchange one must take from another, and one is always left the poorer.
Again, another fight, we kill him. Next room. The Temple of Mercy.
This is the Temple of the Mystery of Mercy. You're just in time for our little retirement ceremony. As part of your initiation, you'll be required to execute them. That's how old people are disposed of in the lodge, and each member is expected to do his share.
He wants us to kill these two helpless elderly people, but we can just kill him instead, you know, to be nice. After this there's a fight with a guy standing on top of a TV set and we're into the final room. Yep, load of nonsense.
Welcome to the inner sanctum, big guy.
Principal Harold?
Within the inner sanctum, you will address me as Vice Muck Harold, second in command to the Grand Muckety Muck. He of the Fez and Buffalo Hem, the secret handshake, the funny passwords. Only fitting, given that my role has always been that of an educator, and Harvest is one big classroom.
But anyway, we're about to confront the grand mystery. This is it, the end of the game. If you want to play Harvester yourself, I recommend you stop here and go do so. I haven't shown you everything, and the game is definitely still worth playing for yourself. But anyway, if you're still here, let's do it.
This is always a great moment when the initiate passes over the threshold and becomes a brother.
Stephanie?
I believe you have something for her. Ring the bell and win a prize for the lovely lady. Or is it win the lovely lady as your prize?
Enough games.
Agreed. Each time you climbed the rope, you caused her pain, but you always hurt the ones you love. Is that all you require?
I want an explanation.
Of course you do. There are no such things as monsters. And yet, you've killed monsters. Everything in Harvest is just slightly askew. This is because, as advanced as our technology is, we cannot make the sim any better than this. The subject's subconscious always warps it in unpredictable ways.
Sam?
This is nothing more than a virtual reality designed by the Harvesters to test potential members. Having successfully completed the program, you have earned the right to become a Harvester.
What the hell is a harvester?
The hand that grips the knife that stabs. The ones who move amid the crop and harvest the fruit.
You're talking about people. Killing people.
Again and again and again, I believe the technical term is serial killer. The Harvesters seek to perpetuate terror and discord for our own purposes. We do this through the random utility of murder, and we persevere through our recruitment of initiates like yourself.
You want me to become a serial killer?
This entire reality has been engineered to break down your resistance, to desensitize you to violence. Now you may become a Harvester and re-enter the real world, or stay in peace with young Stephanie and spend the rest of your life in the construct known as Harvest.
What is the real world at this point?
Right now, you are suspended in a sensory deprivation tank wired to a VR deck. If you don't join us, we will terminate your life support, and you will be dead within minutes. Those last minutes, however, will seem like a lifetime lived in Harvest. You will marry Stephanie and die peacefully of old age.
You're presuming a lot.
Aside from you, she is the only real person in Harvest. Suspended in a tank, jacked in just as you are. I assume you'll want to spend time together.
If I stay.
Of course, having completed your ordeal, you may leave with her as you intended and enjoy your victory. If, on the other hand, you wish to join us, the cost of exiting the lodge is the same as the cost of entering the lodge. A skull and spinal cord. Hers.
No. You couldn't kill me. These harvesters, they put people through this torture to give them a taste for killing. The way to beat them is to deny them, to live out your life here with me. You're thinking about killing me, aren't you? Didn't you hear what he said? I do exist. If you kill me here, I'll die for real. And I'll feel all the pain, all the terror, because I'm real.
Well, after all, what's a murder without pain and terror? We will feed the pain impulses directly into her brain and then pull the plug. You will be a murderer, this time for real. So what will it be? Life in Harvest or life as a harvester?
Well, damn, we have a tough choice to make. Did anyone see that coming? I think everybody wants us to save Stephanie, so let's do that.
You disappoint me. You had possibilities.
I'd rather die than become as twisted as you.
You've made your choice and succeeded in your quest. Enjoy the life you've chosen, such as it is.
What a waste. This kid could have been something. Never looked back. We got 2 more to plug in. There's gotta be a better way to develop these serial killers. This is scientific. You want we should go back to the old way? What old way? Good breeding.
Damn, that's a lot to take in, but before we talk about it, let's quickly look at what happens if we choose to kill Stephanie.
Wow, that was neat.
Welcome to our order, brother.
Where are you going?
Nowhere. Nowhere at all.
What are you doing, son?
playing Harvester.
That thing? I looked at it the other day. The very thought. Breeding serial killers. It's disgusting.
It's cool.
You'll rot your mind playing games like that. Don't you know people who watch violence become violent themselves?
That's bullshit, Mom.
No, it isn't. Why do you think they started cutting the violence out of those Roadrunner cartoons?
Roadrunner cartoons. Roadrunner cartoons?
What the fuck? Roadrunner cartoons! Anyway, can we make sense of all this? Well, this entire game is primarily a commentary on video game violence. It came out in 1996 in America and it was a huge controversy back then. News stations and parts of the government were peddling the theory that violent video games were responsible for school shootings and bad behaviour and everything. When you go back and look at the entire game from that perspective, it starts to make sense. It's obviously a dark comedy horror too, but the creator was against censorship and blaming video games for bad parenting and wanting to examine whether violent media creates violence. Now, the game, how good is it? Well, I love it just because of its pure oddity and craziness. It's a spectacle from start to finish, but how well does it accomplish its goals? Not amazingly. It's a bit convoluted. You can poke 100 holes in the plot if you wanted to. There's a choice between two options at the end, but there's no choices throughout the majority of the game. Like, you have to do all the initiations to enter the lodge, burn down the diner, etc. You don't have a choice. But either way, it's unlike any other game I played in my life. You don't get stuff like this these days. To leave on a little bit of a bad note, the actor who played Steve was actually arrested in 2010 for possession of child pornography. I think a lot of the actors they got to appear in this game are probably a little bit mental. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these two Real Human videos on Harvester. They both took a damn long time. If you made it this far, I want you to comment below and tell me your thoughts about the game. Did they accomplish their goals? Was there anything you wanted to say that I didn't mention? Or are you just stunned by what you've seen? I'll leave my new Twitter up. You can follow me to get updates on new videos and whatever random shit I post. And here's a link to part 1. Right, see ya mate.
You think just because I'm a janitor I got no pride? That's all I got to do all day is clean up after you rich bastards? Take a hike before you get hurt!